guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over multiplication, and since it's close to Easter, I'm going to share with you a fun Easter challenge that you can do this weekend. So, the only thing that you will need is some plastic Easter eggs, and I have a few right here, and some pieces of paper and a pen to write on the paper with. So, if you do not have Easter eggs, that is fine. You can still play the game and do the challenge without having those. You can just hide the pieces of paper, which is just as fun as it would be finding eggs because it's still a hide-and-go-seek game. So, you're going to need your parents' help with this, or a sibling's help if you have a sibling that can help you with it. That way that you can hide them and find them. So, what you're going to do is you're going to get the plastic eggs and your paper, and on your paper you're going to write a multiplication problem. You're going to leave it blank. There's not going to be an answer at the end of it. So this multiplication problem is 1 times 2. We all know, because all of my students are past their 1s and 2s, that this is 2. The answer in the product to this problem is 2. So, out of this purple egg came this problem, and you're going to then, on a piece of paper, write down this multiplication problem on your paper. I want for you to write it at least 1 time, but to get the best practice, you can write it 3 to 4 times each. That way you're learning your multiplication facts with this challenging game. So you would write on your piece of paper 1 times 2 equals 2, and you would write that at least 1 time, but if you can write it more than that, that's great practice. So you'll fold that one up and put it away, and you'll go to your next one. Now, in every egg will be a multiplication problem. So in the pink one, the multiplication problem is 6 times 6. Again, there is no answer at the end. Make sure your parents leave that blank. And this does not have to be typed. I just typed it because it was easier for me to do at the moment. You can definitely write it on a sheet of notebook paper and just stick it in there. So, each egg will have a different multiplication problem. And tell your parents, and if they're watching, I want for you to make sure that you split these problems up. Don't just make them all 1s and 2s. Give them some harder problems that they won't know. That way when they're writing them and they're copying them 3 times each, hopefully, that they're learning them and the repetition is getting in their mind. I personally think that with multiplication facts, repetition is key. That's how I learned it, and I'm sure that's how our parents learn these multiplication facts, is just saying them over and over again, writing them over and over again. And that's why now we can spit out 6 times 6, 36. And that's what I want for our 3rd graders to be able to do by the end of the year, is to be able to spit out every multiplication fact that there is from 0s to 12s. So, like I said, get a lot of eggs and do this. If you don't have eggs, that is perfectly fine. Just hide the slips of paper. You can use colored paper, or if you use notebook paper and or printer paper, you can just color it with a crayon. That way it's easier to see. If you do paper like this, and if you did eggs, this would be something that you could do inside. You won't have to go outside to do it. It would be easier to do inside. That way, if the wind's blowing, it won't blow your paper out of the hiding spot. So, when I've been looking online at different ways that other teachers have done this, there are different ways that you can go about the hiding part of it. Or not the hiding, about the finding part of it. I've seen where some teachers and some parents wanted for their students and kids to, as soon as they find one individual egg, go to your piece of paper that you have on a clipboard or on a book and go ahead and copy it right then, and then go find the next egg. Or you can just get all of your eggs in one big basket and then write them all at one time. There's also another way that I've seen it done. You can have 2 of the same colored eggs, and so this problem is 2 times 4. We know our 2's, and we know that 2 times 4 is 8. So I've seen where you can have the multiplication problem in one egg, and then the product in the next egg. So you would have, what was this, 2 times 4? You would have 8 in this egg and 2 times 4 in this egg, and they would have to find the matching orange egg that had the correct product that went with it. That's another way. That's a little easier. If your child is struggling a little bit with multiplication, that will be a good way the first time to do this game is to have 2 of the same colored eggs with a product and a problem. And if you get a pack of eggs, there's about 10 of each egg the same color, so it's not like you only have one set like this. There will be a few different sets of orange, for an example. So that's a good way for beginners to do that. But this is a game that you can play all weekend long for Easter week, and you can play it after Easter. It doesn't have to just be the weekend of Easter. Multiplication is a very, very, very big thing that third graders need to learn in third grade, because when they get to fourth grade, there's not much time for review in multiplication facts. They're just going to pick up with new standards that they already have to know how to multiply, and I want for my students when they get there that they don't have to stop and relearn their multiplication facts. They know them. They can just keep going with the new fourth grade standards that they'll have next year. So that's why I have included study your multiplication facts every day. So if you've been following our parent-friendly lesson plan each week, you'll see that Friday your math assignment or challenge was the excellent multiplication practice, and this is it. So that's why I made this video, to kind of clarify what we're going to be doing for that assignment. So when you get all of your eggs hidden and then found, you can copy them on a sheet of notebook paper or type them out however you would like to do that, and then just email me or text or send me a remind message of that photo that you've done where you copied your answers. And if you'll send me pictures of you trying to find the eggs during the activity, get your parents to snap some pictures. I'd love to put that on our classroom Instagram page to let some of the parents and some of the kids see how you're participating this week in our excellent multiplication practice. So also, I was going to remind parents, if you have younger children, this is also still a really good activity that you can do with them. You could buy a different pack of eggs, or you could do a certain like green, blue, and yellow, or for the older child, pink, red, and purple are for the older child. And for the younger child, you can do addition or subtraction problems and stuff that's more on their grade level too. So that's a good way to integrate both of your or all of your children in this activity. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to send me a message or a text or remind. I'm happy to help in any way. I can't wait to see all your pictures, and I will post some pictures after the video is over for you to see how my nephew Jackson done it, how he hid it, and how he wrote out the answers on a piece of notebook paper. So I hope you all have a great Easter weekend. I miss you. I wish I was in class today so that we could be doing all of our Easter activities and crafts and snacks, but we're all going to be reunited very soon. Dr. Dixon did make a comment on one of his Facebook Lives this week that we are going to get back in the building at some point. We do not know when yet, but he's going to run the buses, and all students are going to get to come back to school at least one day to say goodbye and to get all your belongings and all that good stuff. So I'm very excited about that. So we will get to reunite very soon. So I love you. I hope you all have a great weekend, a great Easter weekend, and I'll see you soon.